Welcome to another fine episode of Pixel Talk, the show where we discuss what it means to be human from a pixel's point of view. And now, here is your host, Fivezy.
Hello world. I'm Fivezy, and I want to know, what if?
What if what?
Okay Gumball, I can see we are wearing our bossy pants today.
I don't wear pants. I don't have legs. Hashtag, dirt poor robins have no legs.
I'm wondering what if things were different? You must admit this is an interesting question to ask about almost anything.
Yes, for example, what if I had legs? I might look like this.
What if the American president didn't wear diapers?
What if your mama is so fat that she's the reason that bridge collapsed?
But, what if this question is good for nothing other than pure speculation?
Speculation is good for a lot more than nothing. It's the art of intelligent contemplation leading to better choices and superior outcomes. Consider the greatest, what if, of all time.
I would very much like to know the greatest, what if, of all time.
What if Adam and Eve were Cajun?
Gumball, is this a joke? I don't believe there was a French Quarter in the Garden of Eden, neither do I see how this is the greatest, what if question of all time.
If Adam and Eve were Cajun, they would have eaten the snake, instead.
What a wonderful, what if, that would have been.
The what if, to end them all.
Okay Gumball, what if you stopped telling priest jokes, and stuck to dad jokes instead?
What if we listened to a story of pure speculation about the greatest, what if, of all time?
I hear snake tastes like chicken. Can I order a side of hush puppies to go?
Roger that.
Welcome to Pixel Talk Live. Yep. It's a new live format we're trying. So here we go. Now, I figured I'd start with the definition of what pixel is. Because that's pixel with an A. Very different than pixel with an E. Okay? So let's take a look here at the definition. Coming to us from the Urban Dictionary. Pixel, to be insane with majesty. To have awe. Wait, insane with majesty and awe. To have capability to blow the mind of every person born ever, all caps, to be the most great thing on planet Earth at given time, any given time. So, that's a tall order, okay? And that's something we aim to fail at here at Tigla. Or maybe succeed, because you gotta aim high, okay? And then if you fall a little short, you still probably did something pretty cool. So today on Pixel Talk, we're going to feature an original story that considers what if things had been different in the garden. On what if things had gone a different way. And I was talking to a priest about this, Orthodox priest, and he said the point of the story of the Garden of Eden it's not to be a clever story like we're doing here today, but to remember that through repentance we can get Eden back. So if you learned anything today, it's that through prayer, repentance, we can get Eden back in this lifetime. Okay, so you can leave now. You got the main point. No, but don't. This is going to be cool. Okay, so after the story, we're going to take a little trip into the Culture Collider, where I'll mix up some music with some videos, and this is a chance you can live. You can hop on live from the link that you'll see right down there. It'll be tigla.com/live. And then you can hop on the stream. We can chat for a bit. And we'll see what happens. All right. And if you're able to give a sound offering and willing and want to support our work here at Tigla, telling stories of the beautiful, the good, and the true, you can visit tigla.com/sound anytime/sound offering. Visit there and you can sign up for our Patreon, or you can just send Fivezy a tip, because yeah, that's a good thing. And shout out to Derek Fiedler for reminding me that it's a beauty first approach, telling stories of the beautiful, the good, and the true. Without further ado, let's head into story time.
Gather round, get comfortable, and put on your listening goggles. It's time for a story about the beautiful, the good and the true. From Tigla, Book of Living Stories.
Eva and the Dragon. It is not good for man to be alone. So God made him a helpmate. Between the divide of day and night lies the dreaming, and in the dreaming, man found her. Appearing on the horizon where dust and starlight mingle, formed by the divine mind, and fashioned for the flesh and from the bone of man. The first dream girl. They awoke on a mossy bed in their garden of wonders, and a new joy entered the world. Exploring paradise in parts unknown, Adam and Eva knew unending joy, whether together or alone. So it was that Eva found herself alone, winding up the path to the high garden in the middle of paradise, to the place where a tree of unique beauty and fascination grew. Its trunk, a pillar of radiant amber with light coursing through its branches, the leaves of the tree glowing in colors beyond the range of our tired eyes. Countless beams of light carried far and wide by the shifting mists of the garden. The trees in the clearing grew at a reverential distance, bowing towards it. Rising to the heights to commune with sun and moon, its canopy full. Digging deep below the mountain, its roots reaching the hollow chamber at the heart of the earth, and some say beyond into realms unspoken. The fruit of the tree was a delight to the eye, and Eva gazed at its fiery jewels with great wonder. Even in her reverie, she knew the fruit was not yet to be eaten. It had not ripened, for none had fallen to the ground. Then she remembered the warning of this tree and its fruit. Eva, standing under the tree, knew a new thing: danger. She heard a gilded voice like many silver bells chiming in and saying, "Is this not the most wonderful tree in the world? Look at its fruit. Imagine the bite of its flesh and the sweetness of its wine." Turning her childlike gaze to the top of the tree, she saw coiled and perched like an ornament, a glamorous dragon. Its slender body reflecting the light of the tree, its feathery wings like those of a peacock, barely visible in the twilight. Its snout was long, and its nostrils flared. The lips of the dragon were full, concealing and revealing the bejeweled teeth and forked tongue inside its great jaw. Eva, drawn to its gaze, saw beneath its cavernous brows 2 black voids flashing sapphire and ruby in hypnotic patterns. Eva thought the dragon the most magnificent and mysterious creature she'd ever encountered. She watched as the dragon uncoiled in a spiraling descent down the tree trunk until its head popped below the branches and spoke, asking, "Has our Maker indeed said, 'You shall not eat from every tree of the garden'?" Eva, confused by the question, answered, "We may eat of the fruit from the trees of the garden, but not from the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden. Our Maker said not to eat of it and not to touch the fruit, lest I die by death." The dragon scoffed, bowing its head to the ground as the rest of its body followed. Eva, standing under the tree, gazing at its fiery fruit, knew a new thing: desire. The dragon too knew desire, and it moved closer to Eva, whom it wanted more than anything in the world. Smoke puffed from its nostrils as it spoke. "You shall not die, for what do you know of death?" Eva, standing under the tree, knew a new thing, that she didn't know death. Our Maker knows that in the day you eat from this tree, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, said the beast. Eva knew the dragon was cunning and asked, "Am I not like God already? What can you offer me that I don't already have? Show me this knowledge that I may decide to take it for my own." The dragon's eyes flashed ruby and sapphire. The woman was coming under its spell. The dragon puffed its chest and spread its wings, then raising its head to the sky, shot fire from its mouth that reached towards the heavens. Eva, astounded by this display, knew a new thing. The fire in the fruit and the fire from the dragon's mouth were the same. She spoke to the dragon, saying, "I desire this flame, but I am not like you, and I do not breathe fire. Will you show me how to keep it?" The dragon, greedy to have Eva, moved closer, encircling her from its head to its tail. "Bring me a branch from the tree, and I will show you how to hold fire," said the dragon. "I am not strong enough to tear a limb from this tree. How can I do what you ask?" she replied. The dragon, grunting with impatience, shook itself, and many mirrored scales fell from its side, exposing the charred skin beneath its armor. Skin so black it absorbed all light, appearing without form. "Pick up my scales and place them on the low flat stone beneath the tree." Eva did what the dragon asked. She marveled how cold and reflective the metal scales were as she lined them up on the rock. When her task was complete, the dragon puffed its chest and shot flames across the scales. They turned orange, then red, then glowed white, hot, pink as they melted into one. Turning, the dragon beat the molten metal with its tail until it lay thin and flat.
Then spewing forth a torrent of water, the metal cooled and a blade was forged. Drawing the blade back and forth across the hard stone, its edge was sharpened. The dragon shook feathers from its peacock wings, wrapping the hilt of the blade in them and offering the sword to Eva, saying, "Use this sword to cut a branch from the tree, and I will show you how to hold fire." Eva, standing under the tree, took sword in hand and knew a new thing: power. She approached the tree, and the dragon followed, the smell of her overwhelming the beast with jealousy. Eva reached up and plucked a low-hanging fruit, the dragon ravenous to have her, her lips parting as she held the fruit, peering into the lights beneath its luminous skin. An eternal moment passed. The dragon was speechless, watching the woman, knowing the fate of the world and its dominion over it were in kissing distance from her mouth. Eva broke the spell, asking the dragon, "Would you hold this for me while I cut a branch for the fire?" The dragon, obsessed with the woman and certain to possess her, opened its mouth, taking the fruit between its bejeweled teeth, careful not to prick the delicate skin, knowing that the first bite must be hers alone. Watching her in a kind of awe reserved for the angels, Eva, standing under the tree, naked and shameless as the dawn, raised the sword high above her head to strike the branch that would set the world on fire. Elsewhere in paradise, Adam, having his fill of wanderlust, longed for his wife and set out to find her. Climbing the path to the high garden, he saw a pillar of fire shoot toward the heavens, failing to rise any higher than the luminous tree on top of the mountain. Entering the garden, Adam saw angles of light carried on the warm mists of paradise from the glorious tree, and a multitude of crimson pearls shrouded beneath glowing leaves. He saw his wife, Eva, standing under the tree. Hands stained the color of its fruit, watching a dragon with a sword in its side, roasting over a fire, the fruit of the tree between its teeth. Adam rushed to his wife, for he loved her very much. And together, standing under the tree, Adam and Eva embraced one another in exceeding joy, and knew a new thing.
Join us in telling more stories of the good, the true, and the beautiful by making a sound offering.
Tigla grows by your kindness. Whatever you give in love is good enough for us.
What you're watching now is only the tip of the iceberg. We've just begun. There's much more to the world of Tigla yet to be revealed. You can help by making a sound offering today.
Visit tigler.com/sound offering and see what we're up to. Also, if you're enjoying the show, you can tip Fivezy from the link in the description.
I'd like to think that I'm a DJ, not a free J.
Everyone needs their stories to live by. Make yours a living one. Visit tigler.com, Book of Living Stories.
Okay Gumball, let's get back to the show.
Prepare to enter the Culture Collider, a multi-sensory mashup of music, video, and conversation. Join Fivezy, live on air, by visiting tigler.com/live, and let the sparks fly.
Have you ever sympathized with a monster? I remember as a child seeing images depicting the legend of St. George slaying a dragon, but I didn't have the reaction to these pictures I was supposed to. The dragons didn't look evil, they looked sad. And the older I've become, the more media I've seen where monsters suffer, the less monstrous they seem.
Sympathy for the monster. Something Hollywood is very good at.
To empathize with a monster is to go against thousands of years of storytelling precedent. The traditional mythic role of a monster is to be a kind of living obstacle, typically one that embodies dominant fears in its culture of origin. The very word monster comes from the Latin monere, meaning to warn. When a courageous hero vanquishes a monster, it's not supposed to be tragic, but a victory over a societal anxiety. This conventional model of monsterhood is the one most of us are familiar with. Next to pottery, maybe, monsters are about as close to a cultural universal as you can get. Wherever there are people telling stories, there are stories of monsters. But what is considered monstrous and worthy of scorn or fear varies across cultures and time. So what one civilization judges to be irredeemable, another might pity and empathize with. It all comes down to perspective. Like, there's that one scene in Star Wars where our hero crushes a monster called a Rancor with a gate, which feels triumphant, until you see this one side character look so heartbroken, like this creature meant the world to him. And though the Rancor didn't seem like the nicest fellow, as a child this moment made me wonder if the creature was truly evil, or just a starving animal in a pit. Sympathizing with a monster isn't a novel concept, but it is one that's evolved over the years. One of the most important turning points in film came in the early 20th century, when Universal Pictures thrust the truth.
Monsters are warnings. No shocker there. I guess one thing I like about this Eva and the Dragon story is that it didn't have to go that way, right? The monster warned Eve enough, maybe, to make a different choice. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So now let's consider what happens when die, right? When gods die, because Adam and Eva were essentially the most godlike beings in the cosmos. And then they tasted death.
Human hubris can become its own fallen god. There's a decomposing colossus punishing the characters in the 2014 Russian movie Leviathan, and it's not the giant mysterious whale skeleton you see throughout the runtime, or at least, not entirely. The true deity putrefying in the background of Leviathan is, instead, a societal one. All of civilization that we see throughout the film feels like it's rotting from the inside out, infested with governmental corruption. The film's title appears to reference the Hobbesian Leviathan, or at least an idealized version of it, the deity of society one buys into for a nation to function. In the film, this deity is rapidly decaying. Wooden ships like rib cages collapse upon the shore. A fish processing plant calls to mind a slowing circulatory system, all the workers inside the final blood cells dragging this organism along before the inevitable. A condemned house is picked apart like a beached whale, first by stragglers and then by the apex predator of a demolition machine. Though not technically set in the post-apocalypse, this world seems to have died a long time ago, and is only now beginning to stink. I think part of why the dead Leviathans in Breath of the Wild struck such a chord with me has less to do with the state of the remains and more to do with the state of the world around them. Though it doesn't always look like it, Breath of the Wild is a true post-apocalyptic narrative.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched the movie Leviathan, it's a great Russian story. Told in a way only Russians can tell a story. So, guess what? As we're tracing what happened with the tree, when gods die, the world around them dies. The world they inhabit begins to die. And that's sad. So, once again, I wish things had been different. Yo, it's on here. Sweet. Cool, man. If you want to come on live, you can, but no pressure. Just you can do it from that link right there. It says tigla.com/live. And then I'll see ya and you can hop on. Right on, bro. You're probably playing video games right now, which is awesome. So enjoy. All right. So when gods die, the world around them dies. And then you people who start like saying things like this.
Is the economy broken for us, or is it working as intended? Both. Right now, everyone is either broke, tired, or maybe even a combination of both. And a constant debate that's going on right now is, whether or not, whether or not it's even fair or even possible for, whether it be younger millennials or kids to get ahead going forward in the future. And the reason why I say that is because now I feel like we're entering like a new era in society. Well, it's not even new because it's already happened in the past, where we're entering an era of serfdom. And what I mean by that is, by serfdom is
Because we're going surfing in the new serfdom.
Pretty much there were
New serfdom.
lords that owned the land.
Sorry, my audio keeps cutting out every time I say something I really like, kind of fun.
How you got your food, that's how you got your roof over your head. You have to pay taxes, similar things like that.
Oh, he's got a chart. Feudalism then and now.
The illusion of being free. And the reason
Feudal sounds like futile. Like, why bother? Who cares? Why try?
Literally just working and barely have enough to put food on the table or like roof over their head. And it's getting to a point where a lot of people are saying, what's the point? Like, what's the point of even trying? And
I called it.
This kind of creates this great divide between generations where you see younger millennials and Gen Z where they look like they don't want to work, and there's this whole notion that they don't want to work at all. In comparison to like Gen X or Boomers and stuff like that. But the reality is that our worlds are completely divided. They're just not the same. Boomers, Gen X,
Boomers.
even early millennials, right? They had that opportunity to necessarily go to school, get a degree, get a job, and they'll be able to move their life forward and things like that. But that doesn't necessarily work for everyone nowadays. Where you see tons of
I don't know if it worked for everyone before, bro. Go to school, get a job, and
that's a whole nother debate. Like, a lot of people didn't put themselves in the best position, whether it's like leveraging school while they were there to leverage their network or get internships.
yeah, you know how you leverage a network at college? You don't wear sweatpants to class, okay? Hot tip for you.
A lot of people were sold on the dream that
I don't even know. I never went to college, but that seems like a good idea.
and then they'll graduate.
Because then what are people going to think later? You're working with them in your little corporate little cubicle, and who do they see? They can't unsee those sweatpants.
So the reason why I bring
His
that
Looney
up
Tunes shirt that you wore to class.
a lot of younger millennials and Gen Z see that type of lifestyle of going to school, get a job, work really hard for 40 years and retire. They see that as they don't get to enjoy the same fruits that the older generations got to enjoy. Sure, you might have went through pain of working a 9-to-5 job, no matter where you went in different eras, but they got to get a cheap house out of it. They got to go on vacation, plenty of vacations with it.
So many vacations. Because Gen Z, they don't go on enough vacations according to everything I see on Instagram.
Gen Z see that the world is doomed. And mind you, the same boomers and Gen X have been telling Gen Z millennials that the world is going to end, global warming, this, blah, 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 blah. So they're feeding them doom porn.
Yeah,
At the same time,
porn. He's right about that. Definitely lots of doom porn.
It's kind of counterintuitive, but I don't think a lot of people realize that that's what they've been doing. So a lot of Gen Zs and younger millennials see, okay, if I'm going to be stuck with nothing at the end of my career in 40 years, why don't I just start with nothing now? And
Okay.
Worry about it later. Because
Just opt out. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it just shows you how far we've fallen. We're here now. Everybody's looking forward. Well, this guy's looking forward to the end of the world or something. Yeah, I agree, Todd. To travel is to live. And it's not that hard. You don't need that much to travel. Anyway, let's bring in some bass. I like that. That's fun. All right. So, this is the part of the show where I show you the very special that I had, a song I had commissioned for this original story, Eva and the Dragon, that you got to hear tonight. And it's by one of the greatest music making powers in our day. And I'm not going to lead the witness, okay? But it also has no legs, kind of like. So if you can guess what special music maker made this song for Eva and the Dragon, please leave it in the comments below. Leave it in the comments. Guess. Like I said, this is pretty cool. So, all right, let's hear the special song made just for this. Okay, ready? Here we go. Pretty epic. So that's the that's just a little bit there, a little taste of a Just For This by Suno, the AI artificial intelligence music generator that can now write you songs about anything in like 60 seconds. So anyway, so yeah, this is all AI music, very fitting. You know, I would point out that when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, yeah, it may have killed the world, but we got AI music generation out of the deal. So this is the fruit of the fruit. See how I tied that all in? Just weaving it all together. Yeah. All right. So I've left a description, a link in the description if you want to hear more versions of Eva and the Dragon. There's a whole playlist there of AI generated songs for your listening pleasure. Yeah, I agree. Pretty impressive for it. Okay, hit me up if you want to hear one more before we go. All right? Okay, I'm just going to play one anyway. You don't even have to hit me up. You don't have to hit me up. All right. So this is the one my son liked the most. Okay, hold on. Pull it up. Eve defied the serpent's plan. Instead of eating the fateful fruit, she grabbed a sword and gave pursuit. Eve the warrior, Eve the brave, slaying the beast that tried to enslave. The dragon fell by a mighty hand, protecting Eden's sacred land. I mean, that's not bad. It's not great, but I mean, take my story, put it into ChatGPT, or Claude, whatever, and say, write me a song about this story, and then put it into Suno, and this is what I get? I mean, I fear for the future, but I also kind of like, and the future, I guess, is, I don't know, I guess this is now, right? This is where we're at. All right. So again, you can check out more from the link. And sorry that my mic's cutting out a whole bunch. I'll try to fix that for next time. But yeah. Oh, look what's back. The Flowmaster. So, do I have any closing thoughts? Yeah. We all know what happened in the story of the Garden of Eden. And now you've heard my story, Eva and the Dragon. And I gotta say, I like my ending better.
Thanks for watching. Pixel Talk will return.
Visit tigler.com for more art, apparel, and things yet to be revealed.
Hey, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Just walk outside.
You're a faggot.
Or stay inside.